May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Please sit.
Thank you, sir.
Akash, you are a medical doctor.
Yes.
Why do you think medical education is so expensive in our country?
Sir, because there are limited number of the seats in medical college, and the aspiration for the people to join medical field is too much. So we can see in the NEET exam the number of the people applying those. So private colleges have hiked their fees too.
So why don't more people set up medical colleges? What is the problem in setting up a medical college?
So there are much more stringent restriction regulation to ensure the quality education.
Like what?
So you should have attached hospital, the number of the beds.
How many bedded hospital?
So I need to see exact bed number.
Make a guess.
So it's 330 something.
300, roughly 300 bedded hospital.
Yes.
That itself is a huge expense.
Huge expense.
Correct. Can you think of a public-private partnership model to take care of this problem?
So definitely we can think of
How? What needs to be done? Give me one specific example.
So the sending the doctors from government hospital to medical hospital we can send to
No,
practice.
let us say I want to set up a medical college. I don't have a 300 bedded hospital, but I have the money, I have everything else. How can I tie up with the government to take care of this problem?
So we can work out some contract lease model.
Lease what? It's very simple. If every district has a 300 bedded district hospital and I have the money, can't the government hospital and I tie up, I set up the medical college using that hospital? Can that be done?
Yes, can be that. So, explore.
Do you think that's a workable idea?
So we need to take into account other factors also,
Like
the profit motive of the private.
in any PPP model, the profit motive has to be there, whether you are building a highway or airport. So what is the problem in building a hospital?
So it might prescribe the unnecessary diagnostic,
Huh?
unnecessary diagnostic test,
Unnecessary?
diagnostic test for the profit.
That many hospitals do in any case, don't they?
That's their duty.
They do it in any case. All right. Now, anthropologically,
Yes.
who were the people of the Indus Valley civilization?
So there are multiple perspectives from anthropologically. One of the theories is they are the migrant from the Central Asia. Another theory shows that these are the indigenous peoples, Proto-Dravidian theory.
Let us say they were. Which theory do you agree to more? Migrated from outside or indigenous Dravidian?
So I think the history of the India has been very complex. There are multiple migration in different phases, and I think it's intermingling of the mixing of both. There was earlier indigenous people also and migration also.
Now, Aryans and Dravidians are essentially linguistic groups,
Yes, sir.
correct? So how come now it is less linguistic now and more racial? What happened that from linguistic it became a more racial kind of thing?
So there has been more of a divergence. Multiple subgroups of language has been emerged out of Dravidian group.
No, normally when I think of an Aryan, I think of somebody fair and tall. When I think of a Dravidian, I think of somebody dark and short, correct?
Yes.
In fact, my wife's a South Indian, so we often fight Aryan Dravidian. So, why has this idea that a linguistic group seems to have become racial?
So maybe because of the racism that we see.
Because of?
Racism, the traits we attribute to the particular groups.
Thank you, fair enough.
You played Coco.
Yes, ma'am.
Recently there was something which was held.
Yes, sir. There was a first inaugural World Kho Cup in the Delhi was held, and there were multiple 23 countries all around the world participated into that. India won the both men's and women's champion.
I think they also started a pro league, if I'm not mistaken. So has that helped to popularize the sport, or is it still where it is?
So it's definitely, ma'am, it's definitely, it was started on the basis of the ultimate kabaddi. So we started ultimate kho on that basis. It was one of the most second most viewership program after the kabaddi non-cricket program, and it has also created great awareness among the people.
Many more people do you think will play Kho now
Yes, ma'am, with promotion with coming days, it will be more popular.
in other countries as well? So many countries are saying play. So it's a good thing
Yes, ma'am.
to have the pro leagues, right?
Yes.
Then let me take you to another aspect of related to your MBBS. Arogya and Vaccine Maitri, India had done some years back. It's continuing the Arogya Maitri. What exactly are these two? Have you know? Are you aware? What is Arogya Maitri and Vaccine Maitri program?
Ma'am, Vaccine Maitri is a vaccine diplomacy where we are sending the vaccines from India made to the developing countries or those who are in the dire need of the
During
COVID.
Yeah.
And ma'am, I need to read about the Arogya Maitri.
Yeah, okay. You read about that. Then, on our, in our neighborhood, we have not a very friendly neighborhood, let's put it that way. With which of our neighbors do we have the maximum problems? And why? And what is the state of the relationship between us and these?
And both China and Pakistan, we have the max. These are the enemy countries for us, and there are multiple
Pakistan was the issue.
issue is that the state-sponsored terrorism is one of the biggest issue. Another is the boundary dispute along with Pakistan. Currently, the
What is
what? Sorry, ma'am.
What is the border dispute?
Along the line of control, LOC.
What is it?
The POK area, which is an integral part of India, has been illegally occupied by the Pakistan, which we want to take it back.
And with China?
Chinese, there are the issues along with the borders and its CPEC program, which hurt India's sovereignty. Moreover, recently the dam which is China is trying to build along the Brahmaputra river, which could have severe consequences in the lower area.
So what is the current state of the bilateral relationship with China?
Currently, we are trying to improve our relation. There has been a disengagement on the border. Talks are growing to improve it, and we are trying to negotiate on multiple forums. There is a special representative mechanisms which are trying diplomatic engagement
For what?
for border talks and building confidence.
We have been having border talks for so many years. Why do you think we haven't had any progress?
Ma'am, these are very complicated issues. The LSC we have, that is not clearly demarcated, and moreover, there should be political will to accept
From where?
from both sides to resolve the issues.
So how do you see the relationship today?
Ma'am, we have done better, but we can do better to solve the resolve.
What about the trade?
That is one of the significant area where we need to work. We have significant trade deficit as with respect to China, and our dependence with China is on critical minerals. Critical industrial input is also very big. So we need to focus on domestic manufacturing.
That is one aspect where we are manufacturing of what? Because everything is coming from China. Any thoughts that was made in India have stopped making. They've closed so many industries because of that. What is the solution?
Ma'am, we can focus upon the domestic Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, partnering with the like-minded countries like Australia, Japan, supply chain alternative, China plus one strategy. These are.
Okay. Thank you.
You're from Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
What is Jalna famous for? It remains in news for many reasons altogether.
Sir, it was in reason Maratha reservation for Jalna news.
You support Maratha reservation? We have so many reservations going on.
So Maratha caste is a historical dominant warrior class. It has been, but in present condition, because of the fragmentation of land holding, it was a primarily agrarian class. Because of fragmentation of land holding and socio-economic disparities, there has been unrest among the class for reservation among the OBC. But the OBCs fear that giving reservation might dilute their share.
Okay, it is a long topic. Now the voices are coming up actually that the reservation should be availed by the certain category of people only once. What would you say about it? in a family, I mean, somebody is availing the opportunity of reservation, then it should not be extended further. What is your opinion?
I think it should not be done because reservation is given on the historical injustice which has been done, and still it doesn't mean that giving reservation will minimize the stigma. We still see the reservation at the higher level also. Those people who at the higher hierarchy administration still faces the
Father
reservation.
availed it, the son availed it, then his son will avail it. What is their fault? If they are removed from there.
So we can think of applying the creamy layer concept and increasing the threshold. Those who are much better off can be taken off of reservation.
What is the doctor population ratio in India?
Sir, it is sir, it is 830
800
30
per
uh, per thousand population.
1,000. 1 lakh.
1 lakh. Sorry. Sir.
Should be 1 lakh. And this sort of various ratio nurses, beds.
Sir, I need to
Are
see.
we comfortable with WHO guidelines are there for all?
Sir, I need to see that.
Recently, there was a guideline from the government of India that the Ayurvedic doctors can also prescribe the other medicines, I mean, allopathic drugs. But
Sir,
there was a lot of resistance from the medical fraternity.
Correct.
so the issue of the cross-pathy
Already we have shortage of doctors, then it is not, the powers are not given to them. The situation will further worsen.
there is a issue of the cross-pathy where the particular doctor belonging to one stream practices the another stream. But sir, I think the Supreme Court also has in repeated case said that's not a legal case to practice another streams. There will be, because they are given very short duration of the bridge course that cannot be compared to our education, which is 6 years of the education, quality education. So it will hamper the quality aspect of the patient also, safety and security.
You fall in West Maharashtra, Jalna.
No, sir, Marathwada region,
Marathwada.
Vidarbha Marathwada region,
Okay. Rain shadow area.
range.
But you have a sort of long coastline. How much it is?
So it's a 700
700.
kilometers.
Which state has the longest coastline?
Gujarat.
Naturally, yes. Recently, some improvements have been made and it has been measured again. Accurately, more accurately. With the checkup.
Yes.
Sex ratio is quite okay, Maharashtra.
So it's okay above national average.
What is the national average and what is state average?
So national average is 929, and I need to see about state ratios.
Okay. Marathas, you say that they are fighting this.
Yes,
They have been sort of
warrior class.
warrior race. Okay, my last question to you. What is which regiment is sort of represented by Marathas in Indian Army?
So I need to see that.
You are a Maratha.
So I will see. Sorry.
Maratha light.
Light infantry.
Circumstate, I think.
Yes.
Big circle.
So Akash, Maharashtra was carved when Maharashtra was formed, and what was its previous history as far as states position is concerned?
So there was a Bombay presidency. After that, it was separated from the Gujarat on 1st May of 1960. Separate from the Gujarati-speaking population and Marathi population.
So how do you see this linguistic reorganization of state? Was it like a compromise for the unity of the country, or somewhere it has created a kind of regionalism in long term?
So the linguistic reorganization has been done upon the Fazl Ali Commission. But the language is not the sole criteria which have been taken. The administrative.
That is fine. There are certain criteria which have been set. But my question is that how this has evolved, whether this has given rise to regionalism in our country, or was it just something which was done for the national integration?
Sir, to some extent, it has also given rise to regionalism, where the people are asserting based upon the regional ideology. It had promoted the language integration also.
So most of the times we see that use is coming from Maharashtra as well. That the non-Maratha or the non-Marathi speaking people are not being not being treated well, or they are being, there's a bias which is being created, and it's not just from the state but it is among the people. How you see this?
So there is a son of soil theory where the preference given to the local population as compared to the migrants.
But how can you say a person is a migrant in his own country?
So the internal migrants, we can say. That is, we need to have the inclusive policies for all. The government is promoting also.
Okay. You were mentioning Marathas have a historical aspect, that it's a warrior class. Tell me about how the Anglo-Maratha wars, they shaped the Maratha history.
So there were 3 Anglo-Maratha wars between the Maratha and the British. The first one was the 19. So it was
Leave the dates, and let's talk about the consequences. How that has shaped the Maratha history later.
So it has caused the British policy was a divisive policy. It has caused multiple division upon the Maratha Confederacy, the Bhosle, Shindas,
But it was already a confederation. In the time of Peshwa, it was a confederation.
So British forms alliances with among them and play a divisive policy. So conflict among them for the successions rise up. That was a factor.
When was the last? What was the last Anglo-Maratha war held, and how it ended?
So it was 1880, 1880, where the British fought with the
1880.
1880.
Okay.
It was a Pindari war. Pindaris were the mercenaries, a private militia, British, which were of Maratha origin. So British feared that militia will attack. So British attacked on that Maratha, and Maratha was defeated in that war. So it was a blow to Maratha. And
so based on this, you are preparing for examination and you are applying for this, so you know a bit about this. But do you think that Indian history is very well represented in the school textbooks, or can we say that for the sake of national integration, regional history is being ignored?
sorry, sir.
For the sake of national integration in school textbooks, when we talk about Indian history. So there is one national history that we read which is all focused on Delhi, and maybe some for a time maybe Mughal and Delhi and Calcutta goes on like this. But in this context, do you think that the regional histories have been ignored?
So definitely there are different approaches to history: nationalist, colonial approach, subaltern approach. It depends upon how one is writing the history. But there,
About the textbooks.
but there has been attempts to rewrite the history upon the indigenous perspective. We are seeing the changes in the text also. We are giving preference to our own history to understand it better for student.
Okay. Thank you.
You are from Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
So how Nasik is related to the Kumbh?
So it is one of the 4 kumbhs area where the Mahakumbh is held after 12 years on the Godavari river, Trimbakeshwar.
So as you are a doctor and from gynecologist, so recent there is a new trend in the urban centers, that is IVF clinic. So why this trend is going on? IVF is popularizing day by day.
So because
What is the problem with the women and particularly related to IVF?
so because of more healthcare accessibility and more awareness among the people are opting this, especially in the urban areas. People are opting for the in vitro fertilization.
Is it good or is it good?
No, sir. The natural process of the is considered the best one. If it is some defect, we can choose for the in vitro. Otherwise, it should not.
It will also increase the population of India.
Yes, sir.
So you said that you are from Marathwada region.
Yes.
So, what is the problem with the Marathwada region? Because there is a separate article associated with this Marathwada Vidarbha region in the Constitution of India, and government has been given special responsibilities regarding this. So, tell me about this. What is the article, and how the governor is doing special responsibilities in the Marathwada?
So the Article 371 of the Constitution, which gives the special power to governor to have a board for the Marathwada Vidarbha region, and the special policies fund for the development of that region, targeted policies. So Marathwada has been a historical neglected area as compared to the Western Maharashtra. It is a politically less represented. The Western Maharashtra is a politically influential powers, and moreover, it is a rain shadow region and predominantly agriculture society. Less of industrialization and connectivity issues are there. So, as compared to the Western Maharashtra, the Marathwada is economically also backward. These are the issues. So, in order to have an inclusive growth, Maharashtra, so we are promoting more towards the Marathwada region.
Why Gadchiroli is a backward district, considered as backward district?
So first term, it is more of a tribal area. It has a tribal population. Also, it has a Maoist influence, the ideology Maoist influence, and moreover, it's away from the centers of the economy, such as Pune, Mumbai. It is far away connectivity issues. These are the factors, I think.
Right now, what government is doing for Gadchiroli district?
So we are
Particularly
ensuring.
state government.
So we are ensuring law and order, controlling the Maoism, the tribal development initiative. Recently in the Davos summit, there has been chief minister, a major infrastructure project has been signed with the JVSW Jindal group for the development of the Gadchiroli city.
Okay. So there is a saying, Bharat ek Rashtra, usme ek Maharashtra. So what is the feeling behind this Maharashtra? So is it kind of great Rashtra, or what is meaning of Maharashtra? What do you think?
So people of Marathi people Maratha Maharashtra. That could be the meaning of Maharashtra.
Okay. So there is also a concept of Marathi Manus. So there is a separating tendency or something like that?
So
Why Marathi Manus?
is there a
How
culture?
Marathi Manus is different from the other Indian Manus?
So is there a cultural identity, their softness, their language, its traits associated with that, the personality traits?
Okay. Nagpur is known for this oranges.
Yes, right.
It is famous for oranges. So, because your father is from agriculture, you are from agriculture background, right? So, what are the conditions which are required for the cultivation of the oranges?
So temperate level of climate, adequate rainfall, good soil.
Why oranges cannot be grown in other part of India, only in Nagpur?
So climate conditions are not favorable for that.
Nagpur is a plateau region, or Nagpur is also famous for some other activities also?
Yes, it's plateau region. Nagpur is a plateau region.
Thank you.
How do you think you performed?
So it was average.
Average.
Yes.
You have appeared for one UPSC interview.
Last year, sir.
What were your marks?
155.
I think you deserve much better. Why 155?
So I was not able to express properly them.
Like what?
The question, like I have problem in English speaking, so
No, I don't. There's nothing wrong with your English. Today's interview, you were a bit confused initially. After that, I think you picked up quite well. Do you agree?
yes.
There's nothing wrong with your English. I think you could speak a bit slower.
Okay.
You speak too fast. And think for a few seconds before you answer. Now, PPP, typically when there's a public-private partnership in India, the government gives land as equity. So had you known that in this medical college, government would provide the land or a ready-made hospital, and
Yes.
correct? Same thing, had you formed your thoughts a bit more clearly about Aryan Dravidian, maybe the answer would have been better.
I will see.
But later you picked up quite well. Some answers you gave a pretty decent reply. At least you formed a very clear opinion, like reservations and creamy layer. They were very clear, very definite opinion. I don't see any problem with your knowledge base as such. You know things pretty well. So I personally think you deserve much more than that 155 or whatever you got.
Sure,
That's
I
for
will
sure.
try this time for better.
Ma'am?
And you add to that, absolutely you have to keep all this in mind. But you know, off and on I found somebody became lost. When you didn't know the answer, you were lost.
Yes, sir.
So
That is
don't do
my.
that.
If I don't know answer, I get nervous.
Say I'm not sure, say I can't recall.
And you are not supposed to know everything. How will you know everything?
Everything. So get nervous, your performance goes, then you mix up things. You know? So put our answer kharab. That's what you did on India, China, also, you went somewhere, that's somewhere.
Yes.
Give a focused answer, you're rushing to answer.
Yes.
Soch ke, get your thoughts together and then answer. Don't take a very long gap or long pause. Just a little bit of pause. What is the question? Listen to it and then formulate your thoughts and come. Similarly, you're sitting sometimes you're sitting, you know, relaxed. When you're relaxed and smiling, the performance will be much better. Alright, so relax, smile a little bit and include everyone in your answers. You have only 5 days left.
Yes.
So just keep reading till the last day of editorials, etc. And keep whatever you formulate your thoughts. I think that's what is important. Practice that a little bit. On all what people are asking you, you know, on the online interview also I told you the same thing and I'm telling you again. You know, you have to be very, you know, a little bit of, think a little bit.
Yes,
Get your thoughts.
exactly what I said. Don't rush into things.
You may not think, but everything.
Yes, very long pauses.
Addition to what ma'am you have observed, when he knows the answer, he's very relaxed.
Yes.
And when he's not knowing the answer and he's like in his,
They're all mixed up.
then he is like, I'm resisting something. I'm stiff, I'm resisting. So don't give this.
Okay, sir.
Make it like a smooth flow. That transition has to be smooth.
Absolutely.
Fine. Rest historical facts, please brush up a bit. You're not that good on history.
Yes.
So you need to brush up a bit.
Next thing is because you are Kho player, so prepare how Kho can play a greater role in the rural areas, right? And next is for agriculture. So brush up some concepts of the agriculture, right? Or agriculture related, like farmer suicide also,
MSP.
right? Because that is a famous question. So Maharashtra region, so suicide of the farmer is also there, right?
Yes.
And actually, once time Jharkhand was infamous for farmer suicide.
Yes, farmers.
A decade back, maximum number of farmer suicide was coming from Jharkhand.
But you deserve much more. I'm sure you'll get much more.
I will try. Sir.
And
All the
also
best.
farmers' issues here, what's happening, farmers' protests, all these issues is very.
So, what should we stand? Like, should we legalize MSP or no?
What is your stand?
I think we shouldn't. No.
We shouldn't.
Yeah.
So then you say so. Whatever you believe, you say. But you should have everything.
You have to back it up.
Back. Yeah, why not? You can have your views on these things.
All right. All the best. Thank you.
You create an impact.
Okay, sir.
And you do definitely much better.
Your answer must be impactful in India.
इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट खाली बोलना नहीं है कि मतलब बोलता आपने आंसर दे दिया फिनिश नो क्रिएट एन इंप्रेशन
Oh.
Treat everyone as a patient. Yeah, explaining them with detailed analysis. Yeah.
I'm not so worried. All the time you're not sleeping, I think. Sleep properly.
Yes.
Sleep properly and you'll do better.
Yes.
And,
No, I will clean
about,
shoes.
now I'll suggest that only 5 days are left, so don't give too much mocks.
No, sir. I will stop.
That's it. Now 5 days, just relax.
And
Whatever.
and all the questions that you've been asked and just see how to formulate yourself and how to reply. Practice in front of the mirror as I mentioned to you also.
So,
Practice a little bit.
my interview is on 30 January. So, Gandhiji, what can I expect question from Gandhiji's?
On Gandhiji, anything? Who was Gandhiji? What is the day-to-day? Why is it special?
How Gandhi's ideas are relevant today?
Okay.
So what?
Assassination, Gandhi assassination.
No.
Gandhi's
They can ask you questions where, from historical perspective, they can ask a comparative question where they can ask about compare the philosophy or ideas of Gandhi with Ambedkar, or Gandhi with Subhash Chandra Bose, or Gandhi with Karl Marx. Once they have done this,
Yes. And also the Constitution Day was very
Yeah.
constitutional. So that also can ask you.
beating the retreat is also the same day.
Yes. Either 29.
29 years. So that will also be on the news.
Before you say Maratha martial, then you have to explain what is martial about it.
Yeah. Fine.
Thinking before you
Best
say.
of luck.
Thank you.
All the best. Okay.